Chapter 3 Voices in the Dark. The first level.
I'll thank the fucking brothers for that,
Crinnan groaned as he came to. But how could that have been? He was already dead. How could he die again? Nothing in the hells was what he expected. Nothing made sense. How could he continually die? Why couldn't he hurt the demon? Where were the strange voices coming from? Suddenly, the text floating in the darkness faded, revealing a much more mysterious message.
Terminal online. Connection established. User, Virginius. User, 442320014233932. Blood Games, version 666.3. Hellscape by Farseer. System override key accepted. Beta mode, enable. Scripts, enable. Godmode.sli, loaded. Error. Godmode.sli not compatible with this version. Unable to execute. Maxlevel.sli, loaded. Error. Maxlevel.sli not compatible with this version. Unable to execute. Sage script 5, final, fucking last.sli loaded. Sage script 5, final, fucking last.sli executed. Player entity 442320014233932 created. Error. Prisoner entity 442320014233932 already exists. Error. Error message improperly delivered. Processing solution. Player entity 442320014233932 and prisoner entity 442320014233932 merged. Error message anomaly repaired. Name pending.
And what was that text? What did any of that mean? Crinnan was overwhelmed with confusion and anxiety as he stood in the darkness.
It says we are connected. Crinnan, can you hear me?
Another voice suddenly called out. It did not sound like a demon or Dura'ana or any of the others he had heard since his death. The voice sounded strangely real. It sounded like someone who was alive. Crinnan opened his mouth and spoke.
"Who are you?"
he asked, wondering if the voice could even hear him. Crinnan waited in the silent darkness and felt his heart begin to beat a little softer.
"Hello? Can you hear me?"
He hears me,
the voice cheered.
I did it!
"Yes,"
Crinnan replied.
"I can hear you. Who are you?"
Hi!
The strange voice chirped.
Hey, how's it going?
"It's pretty fucking bad."
Crinnan had no idea how to properly respond to the sudden voice. He didn't know who or what was talking or where they were. He did notice, however, that every time they spoke, another strange word flashed in the bottom right corner of his vision. That word was Virginius.
"How the fuck do you think it's going?"
Crinnan answered with a tone of annoyance.
"I am dead and in the hells. I just had my head ripped off by some fat fucking blob with a damn surprise snake mouth. What is going on? Who are you?"
Yeah, that sucks.
The voice sounded young and empathetic.
So, Sage isn't here right now. He had to poop, but he told me to watch his station and wait to see if you responded. And you did!
Crinnan didn't know who this mystery pooper or the person talking to him was or what Virginius meant. That lack of knowledge was grinding on his nerves. He felt like he was alone in this strange, dark void and was only able to talk to some idiot kid, and that didn't sit well with him.
"What is all this?"
he slowly and angrily asked.
Like you said, it's the hells.
"No shit,"
Crinnan returned.
"I mean, who are you? How are you talking to me?"
Oh!
the voice exclaimed.
Well, I mean, my name is Lucas Links, but you really won't be talking to me very much.
"What does the flashing word, Virginius, mean? Why does it appear every time you talk?"
Lucas chuckled in response to the question, and Crinnan impatiently waited for an answer.
Yeah, so that's a funny story. You see, Sage's real name is Sigenius, and he told me to update his username from his in-pen allocation. I thought it would be funny to call him Vaginius. You know, like vagina?
Funny joke coming from someone who's probably never seen one, Crinnan quipped. Though, I mean, other than vagina, I have no idea what anything you just said means.
Well, I mean, that wasn't very cool of you, but yeah, I get it. You're upset.
Lukas seemed mildly offended, but soldiered past the insult.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that to you. We are communicating with you through the NaNe. We are in the physical world, and you are in the digital. Our name flashes when we're speaking, so that you know who is who, just in case a bunch of people are talking at once. Do you see how my name, Lucklynx3, is flashing now?
Crinnan saw the name and nodded his head.
Yeah, I see it. But I seriously don't understand what you are talking about. What is NaNe?
Crinnan asked, perplexed by all the foreign terms.
What is in-pen allocation? What do you mean digital? What the fuck are you talking about?
Digital?
Lukas repeated.
You know, as in computer-based?
No, I don't damn know, Crinnan snapped. I thought I was in the hells.
Crinnan received no immediate response as Lukas had gone silent.
Hello?
Crinnan called out. He suddenly felt alone again, and despite the fact that he preferred to be alone in the real world, in the hells it just made him anxious.
Wait, don't go. I'm sorry for saying you don't know what a vagina looks like. I'm sure you slay like the best of them. Please don't leave me yet.
I should say I am terribly sorry for Lukas.
The original, more mature-sounding voice from earlier returned. He had a rather posh-sounding accent, and Crinnan remembered Lukas referring to him as Dad or Sage.
My name is Sigenius Lynx, though my friends call me Sage. You are welcome to call me Sage. I should say that if we are not friends by the end of all this, then I will have done a rather unsatisfactory job. And do not call me Virginius.
Oh, hey. By the end of what? Crinnan asked. What is going on?
I have taken an interest in breaking you out of the hells, dear boy,
Sage explained.
It has not been done for, ironically enough, nearly a century. Eon the Calamity was the last to do so long ago, but your Black Knight friends sent him back.
Why?
Crinnan asked.
Why what?
Sage replied with a hint of confusion in his tone.
I should say that in all probability they sent him back to the hells because he was quite an unsavory fellow.
No, Crinnan sighed. I mean, why are you saying you'll break me out?
Doesn't really matter,
Sage asked.
I should say information is a luxury at this point, my friend. Rejoice in our ambitions, for they will benefit you greatly.
He paused for a moment, and the younger voice of Lukas returned.
Okay, stand by for character creation,
Lukas said, confusing Crinnan once again.
3, 2, here we go.
Crinnan gasped as the world around him suddenly grew alive with power. He felt wind fly past him, felt the breath sucked from his lungs. His head started to throb, and it felt like he was being ripped from his own body. His conscience flew backward, and Crinnan stared at a featureless, hairless, completely white-skinned, anthropomorphic body.
Is that me?
Crinnan gasped, fearful of what he was seeing.
Why do I look like that?
Chill out,
Lukas replied.
It's just a placeholder. Stand by for system instruction.
Welcome to Hellscape, new user.
A strange, almost robotic-sounding voice played in Crinnan's ears. It was neither male nor female, and it didn't give Crinnan the sense that it was alive. It didn't stop Crinnan, however, from looking around, searching for the source of the voice. He saw nobody, which dismayed him.
Congratulations on reaching adulthood, or gaining residency in our great country of Govia. As you are aware, Govia is blessed by the goddess Dura'ana, and is seated at the head of the table of Dura'ana. Through Govia, our world knows peace and prosperity. Order is maintained not only by the efforts of our great and benevolent Emperor Sidro and our valiant heroes of the military on the front lines, but also by you. You, dear citizen, contribute to Govia's greatness through your devotion to Goddess, Emperor, and country. Your work through your designation enables us to maintain and grow the greatness that we have obtained and continually reach for. The Goddess Dura'ana smiles upon you, new citizen, and the Emperor thanks you.
Say pause,
Lucas instructed. What? Crinnan asked. Why?
Just do it.
Lucas urged. Fine, Crinnan relented. Pause. The voice stopped speaking and Lucas started.
Do you understand what is going on?
He asked. I don't understand a damn thing, Crinnan replied. What is this?
The voice you hear is the system,
Lucas replied.
You are currently no longer a prisoner. Sage has activated his first custom script that is solely focused on you. The prisoner Crinnan has been deleted, and player Crinnan has been created. Are you following?
So, I'm not a prisoner anymore? Crinnan asked. Sage made me a player somehow?
Right,
Lucas affirmed.
It is the first of many custom scripts that Sage and I plan on integrating, but it's the most important. The system sees you as a new player now. New players in the Hells are either people who have just come of age or someone who has gained citizenship to mainland Govia.
Why? Crinnan asked.
So, basically, every demon you encounter in the Hells is a citizen of mainland Govia.
Lucas explained.
They all log into the Hells every day and use these avatars that they create to sin.
Sin is illegal in the Empire, Crinnan said, shaking his head. That can't be right.
That's right.
Lucas agreed.
Sin is illegal in the real world, but Govia knows that people just can't not sin. Govia believes that inside everyone is a small well of evil, that we all can't help but sin and do wrong. They believe we crave it, that we can't help ourselves. Whether they are right or wrong is up for debate, but the simple fact is they know that no matter how many laws they make and how hard they enforce those laws, people will still sin. This is one purpose of the Hells, an outlet for their inherently evil citizens to sin.
So, people come to the Hells to sin? Crinnan asked. Like a brothel or a bar?
Exactly,
Lucas chirped.
It's actually been a very successful way of keeping order in mainland Govia. All sin is illegal in their country, so the Empire created and provided the Hells to its citizens. Govia mandates that all mainland citizens log into the Hells for at least 1 hour a day to expel their sins. Some people drink, some gamble, some kill and torture prisoners, some have extramarital or premarital sex. The scope of sin is very wide, and the citizens get creative here.
That's bullshit, Crinnan snorted. So the Govians just come here to drink, kill, and fuck so that they don't do it in the real world?
Correct,
Lucas said.
That way no crimes are committed in the real world. If the people have an avenue to do whatever they please by simply logging into a virtual lawless world where they won't face any repercussions for their actions, then the likelihood of them breaking any laws in the real world has proven to significantly drop. This is how Govia maintains control over their people, and is why the punishment for any violation of their laws in the real world is so severe.
What a bunch of crap, Crinnan snorted. Nothing about what he was hearing was even fathomable to Crinnan. Where he had lived and grown up, far from mainland Govia, if people wanted to fuck, they fucked. If they wanted to kill someone, then the other person had better hope they were a superior fighter and awake.
I agree,
Lucas replied.
Anyway, say resume so the system can continue.
Resume, Crinnan said, and the voice picked up where it left off.
Shortly, I will guide you through your first steps here in the Hells. Your avatar must be designed, and your character name must be selected. While I speak, I encourage you to think about how you want to look and what you would like to be called. Remember, citizen, your selected name here in the Hells is a permanent choice, but you will be able to update your avatar as you rise in rank and unlock new cosmetic options. But first, allow me to recite a chapter from the Book of Gardmorn that you may be spiritually filled before you embark on your journey. I will be—
Say skip,
Lucas urged Crinnan.
By the brothers, please say skip unless you want to sit through 30 minutes of scripture.
Skip, Crinnan quickly said, not wanting to sit through any kind of recital of the Govian holy text. The system stopped talking mid-sentence and then started a new one.
I hope that was as spiritually filling for you as it was fulfilling for me to read it to you. With that knowledge and guidance safely nestled in your heart, O citizen, I will now recite verses 2 and 3 of the Song of Sidro's Ascension. I ask that you close your eyes and raise your—
Skip! Crinnan nearly yelled.
Now that your spirit is fully and properly filled, we will begin the process of crafting your avatar. Do not be alarmed by the sudden shift in environment. Stand by.
At that, the blackness that surrounded Crinnan seemed to thicken. It swirled and spun, and Crinnan found himself seemingly carried by it as one would a wave in the ocean. It was alarming and unsettling, but it only lasted for a moment before the light and heat of a campfire pierced through. For the first time since arriving in the Hells, Crinnan found a sliver of comfort. The gentle heat from the small campfire reminded him of home, of making camp with his squad. He looked into the soft, crackling flames and felt a fleeting sense of peace.
Would you like to create a new custom avatar, or use the data gathered from your real-world image? Please note, while cosmetic upgrades may be installed, your base avatar cannot be changed. Once you finalize your creation, you will not have an opportunity to return to this screen.
What do I do? Crinnan asked aloud.
Whatever you want, dude,
Lucas replied.
This is your— No.
Sage interrupted sternly.
While this is a game, I do not encourage you to have fun here, Crinnan. Say, real-world image. It will be the easiest option for now.
Real-world image, then, Crinnan said.
You have selected real-world image. Please confirm your selection by saying yes or no.
Yes, Crinnan grunted.
Thank you for confirming your choice. Your avatar will retain your real-world image. Remember, this choice is final. Are you ready to proceed to the next step?
By the brothers, yes, Crinnan snapped.
Pagan terminology detected. The authorities are being notified for your transgression. Please stand by for—
Override that,
Sage quickly ordered Lucas.
Crinnan, it is very important here that when you are interacting directly with the system that you pretend you are Govian. It will make things easier on our side.
He paused for a moment and then continued.
Lucas has intercepted the alert and refreshed the system back to the next stage of avatar creation. Do be mindful.
Right, Crinnan sighed.
Awaiting input. Are you ready to proceed to the next step?
Yes, Crinnan replied.
Please speak the name for your avatar. You may select any name. Allow your mind to run wild. Originality is encouraged, though it—
Crinnan said. He noticed when he spoke the system silenced itself until he was done speaking.
Username, Crinnan, unavailable. Please select a different name. Remember, you may select any name. Allow your mind to run wild. Originality is encouraged, though it must be stated that this is a permanent—
Crinnan Jameso? Crinnan all but asked.
Error. Invalid name. Reason. Illegal verbiage. Surname of known criminal entity. The authorities have been notified of your transgression. Stand by for processing.
Oh, by the brothers, Lucas,
Sage groaned.
Crinnan, child, I know I do not have to repeat myself. Govia is very strict when it comes to the censorship of ideas and people with ideas that go against what they force upon their citizens. Lucas has intercepted the notification. Try again, but please, do not be foolish.
Awaiting input. Generating list of available usernames. Turtle Captain, 88. Happy Rainbow, 22. Master Blaster, 6001. Pretty Kitty, 69, 420. 12 geese in a trench coat, 2. A dog, 99. Floofer, neuter.
Pretty Kitty, 69, 420, Crinnan repeated. What kind of strange name?
Username, Pretty Kitty, 69, 420, selected. Welcome, Pretty Kitty 6969420 to Hellscape. Please stand by for a breakdown of your avatar statistics and abilities.
Wait, what? Crinnan snapped. No! I don't want to be Pretty Kitty 6969420. Go back! Crinnan waited, but received no response from the system. He groaned, and he could hear Lucas and Sage laughing from wherever they were. Crinnan flared his nostrils in embarrassment. You guys shut the fuck up, he snapped at them. This isn't funny.
I should say you're right, dear boy,
Sage replied, quelling his giggling.
We are being insensitive to your situation, and I apologize. We will make a greater effort from here on out to accommodate your fragile state.
Avatar information sheet. Name, Pretty Kitty 6969420. Rank, 2,114,712,296. Percentile, 100. Player rating, currently not rated. HP, 200. Shields, 200. Damage output, 2 times base. Speed, 1.25 times base. Active buffs. New Citizen Booster, 100% to HP, shields, and damage output until the next percentile of ranking is achieved. Naked, plus 25% to running speed. Sage Script 5, final fucking last.sli. Description, unavailable. Equipped items. Head, empty. Chest, empty. Arms, empty. Waist, empty. Legs, empty. Feet, empty. Accessory 1, empty. Accessory 2, empty. Weapon slot 1, empty. Weapon slot 2, empty. Abilities unlocked, none.
What is all this crap? Crinnan asked. Why am I seeing so many numbers? Why is it floating in front of my face? It's making me dizzy. What the fuck is going on? Crinnan lowered himself to the ground at the jarring sight of the strange information being relayed in front of him. What was all this? Was it supposed to mean something to him?
Those are your current statistics in relation to your personal progress through the Hells,
Sage replied calmly and with a soothing tone.
I understand it is overwhelming to you, as you have never experienced anything like this before, but remember, as often as I can, I will try to be available to assist you and answer any questions you may have. For now, the system will tell you what you need to know.
Your rank is indicative of your overall skill level compared to the rest of the citizens or players in Hellscape. By completing quests, slaying monsters, and engaging in friendly battles with your fellows, your rank will increase or decrease depending on the outcome. Rewards will be granted upon crossing the threshold of a new percentile. As you are a new citizen, your rank and percentile are at rock bottom. Progress through these lands to achieve a higher rank. Please note, the lower your rank, the more system assistance you will receive. As you raise in rank and percentile, the system aid will gradually decrease. If ever you may rise to the top 1%, you will receive no system aid and your avatar will be no stronger than you are in the real world. Hellscape rewards the strong and those who seek to gain strength. This act of weaning you off system assistance will ensure that you are granted the ultimate reward, tangible personal growth, and cosmetic items. Your avatar information sheet can be summoned at any time simply by willing the information in your mind. Hellscape is a place of discovery and growth, and this will be all the help I provide you in terms of system mechanics. The rest is up to you to discover. I leave you now, citizen. Go forth and expel the sin from your heart. Remember, all that is forbidden in our great Emperor's domain is encouraged here. Purge the iniquity from your body. Release your sins that you may return to us purer than when you left. Before I go, I do wish to impart on you the divinely inspired words of the great High Father Halman. For it was mine eyes that I did lift...
Skip, Crinnan said with a sigh and a shake of his head. The campfire faded away, and he was once again left suspended in blackness. So, he asked after a few moments, what now?
Now I fear the time has come to return you to the Hells, Crinnan,
Sage replied.
I should say I am very much looking forward to you completing the journey ahead of you. But listen, our time with you is, unfortunately, limited. The Empire is actively tracking us, and it is quite difficult keeping them at bay. My time with you is nearly expired, so I fear I must be brief. Listen close. This is not a riddle. When the darkness fades, you will find a sword. I have gained super administrative rights and encrypted your particular entity with a lock that only I have access to. Govia cannot remotely interfere with your actions or your progress. To hinder you, they must log into the game themselves and beat you. Crinnan, I should say that you are no longer the hunted. You have become the hunter. Stand by for further clarification.
What does any of that shit even mean? Crinnan growled. I don't understand what remotely means. I don't get any of this.
It means that you're turning the game upside down,
Lucas chimed in. That doesn't bring any clarity, Crinnan replied.
I said stand by for clarity. Crinnan, take the sword and kill the succubus,
Sage replied.
We must leave now. We have to set up a new proxy before Govia finds us. We will return to you, though.
At that, Sage and Lucas went silent. Their names stopped flashing in his vision, and he was left suspended in nothingness. Crinnan was disheartened by the fact that he was suddenly alone again. He wondered just how long he would have to wait, for he was quickly growing tired of the darkness, of just sitting and dying and talking to voices that had no bodies. With a sigh, Crinnan crossed his arms and waited impatiently.